Well, happy Friday, y'all. Well, I'm not sure when you're watching this interview, but whatever day, literally you're watching this interview, it's going to be a good day for you because you get to meet Ryan today with Koik Removal Solutions. I can't wait for you to meet Ryan. He has not only an awesome story, he has an amazing business. He serves families at a high level with skill sets that you don't actually always know about. That's why I want you to get to know him. Now, later, we are going to talk about the monthly blessing giveaway that he is giving in February. But before we get to that, I just want you to get to know Ryan. Ryan, dude, thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit today.
Thanks for featuring us.
Absolutely, man. So, all right, Ryan, I'm going to try to say what you do for a moment. Okay.
All right.
And I'm laughing because you do
Yeah.
so much. And so just correct me. All right. So, in short, Ryan, you help people figure out what to do with their stuff, what to
Mhm.
keep, what to toss, what to sell, and then you actually do all of it for them.
So our job is to help you through the burden of stuff. So when you're going through the transitionary times in life, you need somebody to help you, whether you're downsizing or what we like to say is right sizing. You're moving into your next
Yep.
stage of life and you're right sizing. And so we're there to help you
Yeah.
through the process, to help you like, what do we keep? But why do we keep it? It's
Yes.
more about the
So
why
you're
than the what.
So the downsizing is your helping people downsize is your flagship business,
Mhm.
but you're not just downsizing. You're a stuff helper. Like you do moves, you do packing, you do
Yep.
organization, but you also have an estate sales auction company. You
Mhm.
have
And
own a dumpster company.
yep. And
You
we're a
do
full service
everything to
removal.
really help folks.
And we do full service removals of all types too. So, we can help you fill the dumpster or just a couple pieces you need help with, and then you can do the rest. It's really personalized solutions for what you need. So we don't take a cookie cutter approach. It's about what each client needs and how we can help them the best way. And it's also saving them money by being efficient.
I love that. So bring us into your world for a moment. You get a phone call today by someone and they say, come over and help me. What are often people asking for? And then what are you doing next?
So generally, people are calling us, I like to say, when they go through the transitions in life. And so they're moving, they're downsizing, they're empty nesters. They might be moving into a retirement community or a 55 and up. And so they're just at the next stage in life. And so they're closing one chapter and they're opening the next chapter. And so we're there to help them through that transition and then provide the different services that they need and be an all inclusive one stop shop. So we get people that call us like empty nesters. They live in this great big house. Their kids are moved out. Their kid, maybe even their kids live out of state. And so now they're going to go move to be by their kids. And so we're going to help them process what's in the house. And we're going to help them and teach them what they should keep, why they should keep it. We're going to help them with the disposal, whether that's donations or, if it's with the dumpsters or if it's, this gets moved to somebody else's house locally. We're going to help them through that whole
Right.
process, but then we can help them pack and we can even do their move and then the cleanup after the move.
Okay. So someone calls you, they feel a little overwhelmed, right? They know a transition is coming right around the corner and just the belongings that they have in their home, they could be really nice. That
Uh-huh.
maybe not a lot of it's really nice. It is kind of a whole gamut, right?
Uh-huh.
But they often feel a little overwhelmed. They don't know exactly what to do. A junk removal company would just come in and just remove everything.
Yep.
How are you different? I mean, I think you answered this, but just kind of bring it out one more time. Like, how are you different than as a normal
Well,
junk removal?
a standard junk removal, which is obviously a service we offer too, but it's really the smallest part of what we do because we're more focused on what the client needs. And so a
Mhm.
standard junk removal company will just come in and what are we taking? How fast can we get it out? And we're ready to just pack it and go. Whereas we're
Mhm.
more about, okay, let's see what items still have purpose and let's see what we can donate and let's see like what you actually need to do versus just hawk it and go. So it's more personalized solutions, meaning that you don't just need a junk removal. You don't just need everything in the garage to be thrown away. Maybe there's stuff we can donate to help other people and give stuff more purpose, but also ask people. There's a lot of guilt in getting rid of stuff in our human emotion. And so because of that, a lot of people don't want to just throw it all away. They don't want to just hire in a
Right.
company that just throws it in a dumpster. They want to see that stuff have purpose because, there's a reason why you buy everything. Everything that walks in your house because there's a reason why you brought it in. And so let's give it a second life and a purpose. And, you know, whether that's helping some other people by, donating things to charities that can sell it, whether it's, donating clothing, like let's not just throw it all away.
So you help clients through the decision process of what to keep, what to sell, what to give away,
Uh-huh.
maybe what to trash. So you help organize their decisions, right?
Right. And we're also trying to save you
That's
money by
huge.
being efficient. We're trying to be
Yeah.
very efficient when we do it too. So we're trying to literally save you money, which sounds apropos because it's like, well, you get paid if you do work. But the reality is, I don't do my work to get paid. I do my work to help others.
Okay. All right. We need to like keep that as a hashtag because Ryan, I have experienced that reality, what you just said. You do your work to help others. Like that is your aim. It is just absolutely your aim. And, we've known each other for a couple years. And, I think particularly in the flipping business, I'm aware of how much you can do with helping just kind of clean out houses. But it's
Uh-huh.
been really cool just to get to know really your flagship business. And it's not just getting rid of everything, it's really helping people organize. And I saw that firsthand with a client that we have. And I loved it. This client needed help on deciding things. They had things of value, they had things of not value. Where do you move it? Who moves it? I mean, there's
Well,
so many decisions. And I got to say, when I just was with you for that 15 minutes of you walking with this client, I was so thankful for how I saw you care for that client. You asked questions and you listened. You asked questions and you listened. You didn't just come in and just share what they should do with their stuff because they're the ones who have 30 years of experience or memories with this. I think that's something that sets you apart. But like, how did that begin?
in my working background, I actually went to pharmacy school and I didn't like it. I had to work indoors. And so like I'm a country kid from Illinois. And so I spent my life outside. So I dropped out of college. And it was one of those things where I went to an auction one day. It was right up the road. I went to an auction and I just liked it. And then they're like, hey, there's an auction next week that we're doing in this yard. And, here's the address. And so I went to that auction. And then I noticed that they were selling stuff really cheap compared to what they were selling on Saturday. And I went, huh, I think there's money to be made here. So I bought a bunch of stuff at the auction. And then I ran into one of my dad's actually old classmates and friends. And I was good friends with his son. And it was one of those things where we started going to auctions together. And this was the time when his son was in Iraq. So I was kind of his surrogate son. And, he taught me the auction business and he taught me how to buy and sell. And so I actually became an auctioneer and I started my own auction company. But my niche was I didn't just pick and choose what to sell at auction. I would clean out the whole house and give them a full solution. So their house was ready to sell or go to the next transition. And then that turned into, well, now we're doing a lot of moving work. And so we actually started a full service moving company and we worked them together. So we did auctions during the week because everybody else did auctions on weekends, and we did weekend moves. And then we just transitioned that into, I built my way up through the auction business. And then as the years went on, because auctions I wouldn't say they went out of favor. It just, the business shifted. And so it turned into more of we're doing a lot of removal work. And so the business shifted into a removal company. And so then when we become a removal company, well, obviously we're still going to be full service because,
Right.
that's the base of the business. And so when we become a removal company, then it's like, okay, well, we have all these skill sets. And then it's like, well, now it makes sense to hire an organizer. Now it makes sense to, not just have grunts. We need to have people who have heart and care for the client. And it's about the stuff, but it's not about the stuff. It's about how the client feels and what the client needs. And so that's where it came from. And so where that comes from in me is when I was a child, I remember I was about 9 years old. I was watching Mr. Rogers, and there's a very famous quote of his where he says, look for the helpers. And 9-year-old me was like, he says, look for the helpers, look for the principal, look for the adult, look for the police officer. And I'm like, no, I want to be the helper.
Hmm.
Because, if you're looking for the helper, don't look for the helper, be the helper. And everybody can be a helper. That's the thing. Everybody can be a helper because, rising tides rise all ships. And, the reality is if you live your life this way and you help others, you know, money aside, it's not about the money. It's if you help others, it fulfills your soul and it builds you up. And when you build yourself and fulfill your own soul and help others, then it just doesn't become work.
Yeah. That's incredible. So this whole ecosystem that you have built out, has literally been developed for one goal, and that is to help. And in one sense, you're an entrepreneur, but entrepreneurship alone is not just your drive, it is helping. And so you create businesses so that you can help people greater.
Well, and see, the thing is, it's vertical integration too, because it all stems back to, you start with the stuff, but then you're solving a problem. So, what's the most efficient way to solve the problem? And so,
Right.
we actually give people a lot of credit off of jobs, for the stuff that we can sell, or we do some free removals just so we can get the stuff to sell at auction because it serves the client better. And so if we give you credit, say you don't have enough to do a whole auction, most houses don't. And the
Mhm.
reality is, if we give you a credit, then we run our own auctions and we do one transaction, you're done, and you're, free to sell the house or do whatever you're going to do. And
Right.
then we take the things and then we sell it at our own auctions later, but we've given you a credit. So we've given the stuff a purpose, or, like when we do the donation work, I mean, a lot of donations, like we donate a lot of stuff to like Sika, for example, and
Mhm.
they use that stuff when they sell it to help other people in your local community. We donate a lot of stuff to the Ruritan's Club, and they do big sales and sell stuff, and that money goes right back into the community. And so
You
it's not
said
about the
so you often so do you have a warehouse?
I do. I have shipping containers and I have them sorted
Okay.
out. And then what we do is we actually categorize it. So, like, I have a tool section. Because of one of the houses, I have a sewing and scrapbooking section. I have a whole bunch of antique lighting. And so, what we do is we gather it up, like toys, collectibles. And then when one of the sections gets full, then we actually conduct our own auction and do it all online.
Okay.
It's our auction company is Mountain Valley Auctions. I'm one of the associates in Mountain Valley Auctions, so I can conduct your state auction if you have enough, or when we give you a credit, then it just becomes company owned at that point because we gave you money off the job
Okay.
for the items in exchange for the items. And then when we put enough together, then we'll do a tool auction, we'll do a toy auction. And so that whenever we fill up,
Okay. That is such a good service. No, you see a lot of stuff. I know
well,
you
yeah.
walk into some crazy situations. So let's talk about what we can talk about. But like what's maybe one of the more overwhelming situations you've walked into before?
So the ones that I can talk about, really the hoarder houses are the most overwhelming because they have the most excess of stuff. This
Mhm.
week we did one hoarder house locally that you walked in and the piles were 7 to 8 feet tall and there were pathways and, I mean, major plumbing leak upstairs, and that's what perpetuated the change. But the
7
process
to
of
8 feet
walking
tall.
in,
How big is this house?
well, 10-foot ceilings, 5-bedroom house. But I mean, you figure 10-foot ceilings,
Wow.
8-foot doorways, and the piles of stuff were to the top of the doorways. So really big, nice, $500,000+ house. I mean, nice house, and it's just full. And so the thing is, with that type of a hoarder, there's usually a traumatic event that causes hoarding, and it starts slow and it builds slow. And so it's one of those things where it's not like a dump truck that just dumps it in there all at once. It's another piece every day and another Amazon box. And so what I did with her was I set her down on the porch and I explained the process. And so when I explained the process, that was a matter of like, here's what we should do. Here's how we can help you the best. We had a dumpster already sitting out front. What is your purpose of having us here today? What are you looking for? What is important to you? What do you want to keep? What do you want us to find? So it's a whole process, and we're building rapport and trust with the person because, obviously that's how you can work with someone. You're not working for them. And that's really
Mm.
the big difference. So when we get in these overwhelming ones, like this hoarder house this week is a prime example because we have stuff stacked 8 feet tall. She lived in a very small, very, very small closet in the house, and that's actually where she lived. And the rest of the house is full. And we're
Wow.
talking a house that's probably 3,500 square feet plus the basement. And she lives in a closet because she has no space except for the pathways. And I mean, like this one, it's dirty. It's got a big plumbing leak. I mean, but that's what caused us to come in because, something usually has to perpetuate the change. So it can be input from a spouse, like I'm leaving, or it can be they're in a financial situation, or like in her case, it's a plumbing leak that literally brought us in. But it also made her get the realization of, I don't need this house anymore. I'm one person. So it was a beautiful house for her to buy 20 years ago. So with with the process with her, it's a big overwhelming thing. So you break it into small
Wow.
parts.
What I am astounded by for a moment is I mean, you help these people. I mean, we could probably talk and be grossed out, honestly, at so much
Sure.
of the hoarding stuff. But these are real people, and they're
Yes, they're
walking
people.
through life, and you're walking in saying, "Hey, I want to help you
Yes.
not live in a closet." Okay, yeah, that's
But
incredible. Okay, so
see,
how does this one end?
well, we filled a 30-yard dumpster, big construction dumpster, 30-yard dumpster out of just the front two rooms of the house. And we took all the furniture out of the front of the house because, like, it was full of 2-liter bottles of Diet Coke and, like, just trash all throughout. So we took out there's all this antique furniture that she obviously had inherited because it was just sitting in the front room. As we went through it, we're gathering stuff and we're running it all by her. And is this something you need or want? Is this something? So we got a whole pickup load of donations that we were able to give away, that free of charge. But the ending of this story is we're in step one. Step one is done. So we've cleared out the front of the house. But it's like her quality of life, even in just a day of work, is amazing because, like, we all sat down and, I said, "Hey, I'm going to order food for the guys. What would you like?"
The moment you walk in, I am assuming they feel embarrassed, right? I mean, they have you
Yeah.
over, they need you, but they're embarrassed. It's not easy for them to have you over.
Well, there's a lot of shame and that's part of their depression and that's part of their, like what causes their problem because, like it's a slow problem and then it becomes out of control, but they have a lot of shame. That's really what
Mm,
it is. And they're ashamed of themselves, they're ashamed of their situation, they're ashamed of, what it's done to people around them, so there's a lot of parts of that. And so when you build the trust and rapport with this person,
right.
you have to show them I'm here to help you, but I'm also here to actually solve your problem, or I'm here to help you transition to your next chapter in life. I'm here to process this part. And so we break it down into pieces. So, like when we ordered, she said, I would really like garlic bites from Domino's. Very specific, right? So we had Domino's, right? But that's the thing. It's not about it's about little changes, little things. She wants garlic bites from Domino's. So I ordered garlic bites from Domino's and we had cleared out the dining room table and we sat down with her at her dining room table and ate dinner. We went off the clock and we all sat down together. And that's the thing, like that's why I call it
Love it.
rehumanizing because,
Yep.
this is a person who was a hermit, who doesn't talk to anybody, who gets everything delivered. She even has laundry service because she can't even get to her washer and dryer, and the only interaction she has with people is just the people delivering stuff to her. That's it. And that's it. She sees them because they drop it on the step and they're gone. And so we rehumanize the person. We see them as a person and not a problem. It's how do we get to the solution?
So you've walked through many of these, and so what does it make you feel like when you get to the end zone and you have helped this person really, in a sense, get their life back? What's that feel like?
Well, it's incredible. I mean, just watching her after just one day, she kept thanking me for being so patient. She kept thanking me for being kind. Like, you have to remember the average person is going to judge them and their situation. And,
Mhm.
we're not there to do that. We're there to help you. And so
I
a
love
lot
it.
of times, like, it's not even just building the rapport and the trust with them. A lot of times they open up and want to work with you because they know you're not judging them because I'm here to help you
Yeah,
and do a job. I'm not here to judge you and, think that I'm better because I don't have this problem, you know? And so
that's
that's
gotta
why
be
I call it
incredible.
rehumanizing because
Yep.
that's what it is. It's rehumanizing. You're taking somebody who's at their lowest low and you're building them back up better.
Dude, the heartbeat is so loud on this whole
Hmm.
conversation, and I think it's what sets you apart in this business. I think it's what makes you so effective, but you also have a skill set with knowing how to actually accomplish this. And I'm pretty sure that's why when I called you about the monthly blessing giveaway, right? So we were
Hmm.
talking about, okay, we do this. We like local businesses seeking to bless the community with something to be a blessing. You were like, yes, I want to do that. I mean, it was within 2 seconds. You were like, absolutely. I don't even need to ask you the question why, buddy. Like, this is just who you are. Like, you love if it's garlic knots or
Right.
if it's a monthly blessing that we're gonna share what that is here in a second.
Right.
So,
Helping others
man,
is
thank
what
you.
is my driving force. Like you can always make money, but you can't always help people. And so if you get the opportunity to help people, just do it.
So, what is February's monthly blessing giveaway?
So we went for like a Valentine's Day theme, and I thought this was a great idea. It's a cooking class for Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen, and you're going to get to learn how to make beef Wellington, and then you get to go in the restaurant and have a 3-course meal. Comes with a cocktail even, so you get to eat beef Wellington in the restaurant and a dessert and a side. And then you get to take home my favorite part. You get to take home the beef Wellington that you made. So I love that. So it's not just, hey, you make this and then we throw it away. No, you get to take home the beef Wellington that you made in the class.
Dude, maybe you and I can win this because I want to go.
I mean, hey, if it's February 14th, I'm game. Let's go. You know, your wife will be home
Oh,
when you get
man.
home. It'll be all right. I would love, it's funny. We were talking about this before we started. It's funny because now I'm going to give this away twice because I want to do it too. So it's funny you say it, you're jesting, but at the same time, like, I want to do this. I'm a
It's
Gordon
really
Ramsay
going to
fan,
happen.
I know how to cook. So,
Yeah,
like,
that's
this
right.
is like adding another skill.
That's right. Well, and these are like $200 per
Yep.
person. So
Yep.
this is two people going to be able to have this incredible experience at Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen restaurant in DC. So dude, that is so awesome. Ryan, man, truly thank you for not even one thing. Just thank you for being Ryan. Thanks for just having a heartbeat for others. I want to partner with businesses that have a similar heartbeat as I have. And man, that's why you're doing this. That's why you're here. And so thank you. If people would want to reach out, we can put some stuff in the description. Easiest way, phone, email, like what do you prefer?
So the best is phone or text. I travel a lot, so I still answer the phone no matter where I am in the world. I'm still there. I can still FaceTime you or talk
Yeah.
to you anywhere. I make myself available. And I really want to say in all of this, it's not just me. I've got a whole team of people who I built behind the scenes who work with, like the client that you and I are working with together right now. I mean, my people are working with her more than I am. I'm giving her daily status updates and talking to her every day, but the actual boots on the ground and she's been working with one of my organizers each day to establish what she needs. And so it's not just me. There's a lot of people
Awesome.
behind me and it's a team effort.
Man, I appreciate you saying that because that is the reality in each of our businesses. Yet we cannot be present with our clients if it wasn't for the team working beside us. Good, man. Well, brother, thank you. And God bless, my friend.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.